I went on a date in Atlanta, and the guy who I went on a date with, his boyfriend showed up at the restaurant while we were on our date. So the previous day, I'm at the mall. I see the guy. We like exchange looks, so like I know he knows that I think he's attractive. I know he think I'm attractive because we're looking at each other. We've passed each other multiple times in the mall, and we're looking. So probably like the third time we've passed each other, he's like, "Excuse me, I think you're very beautiful. I would like to take you on a date." I'm like, "Okay, cool. We can exchange information, get to know each other, and then we could put something in motion." So cool. We talking the whole day. Everything's going good. He seems down to earth. He seems cool. We have a lot in common. Whoop-de-whoop. Right. So he's like, "Okay, let's do something for tomorrow afternoon." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine with me." He's like, "Do you want me to pick you up?" I'm like, "Well, you know, this is our first time meeting. I don't really feel comfortable with you picking me up from my home, even though, you know, I think you're a pretty cool guy." He's like, "Okay, cool, no problem. I'll send you a black truck." Boom. So that's the backstory of how we met. Fast forward to the day of the date, right? So we go to the restaurant. It's a very nice establishment. The vibes are nice. He comes with flowers. The conversation is good. The energy is good. And then he picks up his phone and the energy just like shifts out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, "I gotta go to the restroom. So I'm like, "Okay, go ahead. Go to the restroom." So while he's in the restroom, I ordered me a few more drinks. I'm noticing like, okay, he's in there for a little too long. Okay, so he comes out. When he sits back at the table, he's like fidgety as hell. Like he's moving, looking around, looking over the back of his shoulder, looking past me. I'm like, okay, are we safe? Is everything okay? Are we good? So I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. You know, I'm good. Let's get a few more drinks so I can loosen up." I'm like, "Loosen up? I mean, we've been drinking. You was loose." So anyway, so then I noticed this group of men walk in, right? He peeps it too. Girl, when I tell you he adjusted his body as to not be seen. So I'm like, okay, maybe these are the ops. Maybe he's in danger, like something's going on. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna eat my food, mind my business, or whatever, cool. We're at a table where like the bar is across from us, so I can hear conversations at the bar. I can see people, right? So the group of guys sit there. One of the guys is like, "Yeah, my man out with some bitch." Oh, so I'm one ear to him, because like I want the tea. What? So he like, "Yeah, he don't even know I got his location." So I'm looking back at the person I'm on a date with. He's like this, making sure. I'm like, what's going on? So he's like, "I have to go to the restroom again." I'm like, okay. I mean, this is the second time. Are you gonna leave? Do I need to pay? What's going on? So when he goes to the restroom again, the man gets up and goes to the restroom as well. But as the man walks past me, he's like, "Oh sis, you're beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." You know, because when okay. So I'm like, "Thanks." But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, they both going to the bathroom. But I'm not even putting that together because at this point I'm tipsy. Right. So something must have transpired in that restroom. Because next I hear the person at the bar pick up the phone and he like, I'm on the way. And the group run to the bathroom. Security run to the bathroom. So I'm sitting here like, what's going on? Mr. My Date and Mr. You look good, sis, come out the bathroom tussling. You in here with this bitch and you had me at home thinking that you at home thinking. So he's like, you had me at home thinking, and you know I got your location, and how sneaky could you be, and you not even gonna let her know that you got a man. You got a what? You got a what? So mind you, I didn't drive here. So I'm having to like get on my phone, give me a new ride because I didn't drive. He done left me with the tab. Cool. I want to get up the hell on up out of here. So I pay the tab. I'm like, I'm not sitting in this restaurant waiting. I walk out. Oh, when I tell you they on the street going at it, the person I went on a date with, baby, you know, oh, what is going on? I don't even know. So then I'm running out of time. But okay, so I'm about to whip my ass for this part 2. So the part 2 is really not as juicy and as crazy as y'all want it to be. So after they tussling or whatever and they're outside, I finish up, I do the tab, order my Uber, whatever, go outside. They are going back and forth. My date is basically like begging for his man. Like, he's like, I don't want you to leave. Baby, I'm sorry. She didn't mean anything. It wasn't anything. And he must have done this before, because the boyfriend was like, you always do this, you keep doing this to me, you basically saying like, this is not the first time that you've done this to me, and you continue to do this with me. Whether he's done it before with a woman, I don't know, but obviously he's a cheater. So they still tussling, pulling, whatever. They get in a car together, they leave. When I get in my Uber, I block his number. We don't speak again. So I don't know if he tried to reach back out to me to explain himself or not. I blocked him. Now, as far as the situation with the address, because y'all had me fucked up about the address, I'm not gonna lie. Some of y'all, because y'all were very nasty and very rude about the address issue situation. Like, okay, you could just ask for clarification instead of being nasty and rude. So he ended up sending me the money to get the truck. So essentially, he still got the truck, but I put my information in. And let's just say, God forbid, I did give him my address. I live in an apartment building. He would not have access to my unit or my unit number. But on the bright side, I was able to go on to a radio station and actually talk about what happened. And a lot of people reached out to me telling their stories about what happened. So I don't know if I want to do like a little series of like telling other people's stories. Like, they send me them and I say if they feel comfortable with me voicing them on TikTok, I want to be able to do that, because honestly, we all have a lot in common other than, yeah. And I don't want to say every man in Atlanta is DL, but yeah, I feel like don't let this discourage you from dating. I thought I was going to let it, but I'm not, and yeah.
These are the signs your man is on the down low. Hanging around men too much. If you tell that man to stay at home with you, the first thing he gonna say is, I can't have no friends. I'm a man. I work all day. I can go where I want to go. Maybe them men got something he want. Because ain't no man gonna get in his feelings about another man unless they got something in common. Number 2, he talk about your makeup. He talk about everything you wear. That man is jealous of you because you looking better than him. You have more confidence than him. You got high self-esteem. He got low self-esteem. So it's feminine side coming out. All them lashes, all them makeup, all them wigs. He just mad because you look better than him and he don't look better than you. Number 3, coming home late with his homeboy. What 2 grown men doing out late? Then get mad at you when you ask where he been. He been on a date.
Here are 3 ways that you can tell if a man is on a down low. Number 1, he is using your relationship as a cover-up. He can't stand you and he's very jealous of you because he's fighting inner demons. He's mad that he can't come out the closet the way that he wants to. So you will be punished in that relationship because he is struggling with his identity. He targeted you and he chose you because you are going to help him clean up his identity. You're going to help him with his fake facade. See, he wants the community and his family and friends to believe that he married a gorgeous woman. You're super successful. It has nothing to do with love and totally about his image and tricking people and deflecting off the fact that he's a closeted homosexual. But what's going to happen within that marriage? He's going to bully and punish you. Whether you're living with him, y'all are engaged to be married, y'all just living together, whatever the situation is, he's going to bully you in that relationship because number 1, he's envious of you. You are an actual woman. You got boobs. You got a nice booty. You got coochie. You're dressed fly. You look good. And when you walk into the room, you're going to get the attention of men. He wants the same attention as you from men. And because he can't come out the closet and live in his truth, you'll be bullied and punished for that. Number 2, he spends a lot of time with one specific homeboy. I mean, he spends a lot of time with this homeboy. They always run in the streets together. He's got a whole woman at home. Y'all are married, y'all are engaged, y'all are living together. Why is he spending more time with his homeboy running the streets than he does with you? That's because they're fucking. Yeah. I said what I said. Do the investigation and come back and thank me later. No man is supposed to spend too much time with his homeboy, and he got a whole woman at home. He's more loyal to his homeboy than he is to you because they're lovers. Number 3, pay attention to the way that he makes love to you, the way that he handles you. He's going to handle you like a man, and you're going to notice that the sex is going to become robotic. Ain't nothing wrong with a little rough sex here and there, but he's going to handle you like a man. He's going to be robotic with it. There's going to be an emotional disconnect. You got to pay attention to the pattern. He's been with the man and he wants to go back to being with a man, and he does not enjoy sleeping with you. You can tell it and you can feel it. You got to pay attention. Be safe out here, ladies. It's ugly.
How I found out my boyfriend was on the down low was he tried to take me to a swingers club, and I was like, I'm not going in there. He actually had a membership to this place, and I asked him, have you ever been with men or anything? He said, no, I've only been with couples. But like, have a man ever touched you? Have you ever engaged in any kind of activity with a man? He was like, no, I just been with couples. And so he was kind of vague about it. So I asked him, I said, how would you feel if you ever caught me with another man? What would you do? Do you know what he said? He was like, I wouldn't do anything. I would join. Like, you would just join us? This is somebody I've been with in a relationship for over a year. He said he was straight, supposed to be monogamous, but the entire time of us being together for over a year, he had been cheating on me at swingers club and had been with both men and women. And he finally came out later as bisexual.
All right, y'all, part 2 about finding out if your man is on the DL or not, my love. All right, so these are the things that I picked up on dating men that was on the DL throughout the years of here being in the ATL, honey. All right, so little girls, I know y'all gonna hate this one, but baby, little girls, stay away from them street thugs. Those are the biggest men that's in the DL community, my love. Them street thugs, but they be the hardest one that's always acting hard and this, that, and the third. Baby, they around the alley bent over. Okay? Stay away from them. Those are not the ones that you want to be around. Those are not the ones that you want to keep around. Okay, my love? And another thing is, if your man can sit around and watch Love and Hip Hop and Atlanta Housewives, baby, real straight men don't do no shit like that. They don't watch Atlanta Housewives and Love and Hip Hop. Like, come on now. Straight men just don't do that. Baby, they like putting on the games and watching games and stuff. They ain't gonna watch nothing what females do. That's a female trait. They ain't gonna do none of that stuff. They ain't gonna sit in the house and hang around like, oh, girl, Love and Hip Hop and Atlanta Housewives is on. They ain't gonna do no shit like that. Okay? So peep game, all right? I'm just saying, though. I know sometimes your husband like to watch them type of shows with their wives, but baby, please, you need to ask a little bit more questions, all right? And another thing, if your man is always arguing with a particular friend all the time, if he's arguing with this one homeboy all the time, baby, they're not just friends, they're in a relationship. They are in a whole full-blooded relationship, my love. You really have to watch out for that. One minute they argue and they falling out, then the next minute they friends again. Nah, a straight man gonna leave you right where you stand. They may not talk to you for a couple of years or so. You feel me? And another thing before I get up out of here, y'all. If he's sitting on the phone talking to his homeboy all day, he can talk to that man for hours. Baby, you need to clock that T and find out what the hell is going on. Because a real straight dude is not going to be on the phone holding a conversation, because let alone, they don't even like to hold a conversation with the female on the phone with them for hours. So let alone a man. Make it make sense. Alright? Those are the tips that I have for y'all. Ladies, be careful, be aware, because Labor Day weekend, you need to find out where your husband going to be. Because Labor Day weekend, if they coming down to Atlanta, Georgia, it is Black Gay Pride week, okay? Weekend, baby. Go ahead and check his suitcase for dildos, condoms, and lube, baby. Oh, and another thing that I forgot. If he always want to anal, That's another one. If he always want to poke you anal, baby, you better run for the borders, run for the hills, run quick. Alright? Alright, it's your girl, Burr. What's the word? And I love y'all. Self-love is the best love, baby. Peace.
Since finding out about my husband, I've gotten hundreds of messages from other women going through the same thing. There is just so many absolutely heartbreaking and devastating stories that I'm reading in my messages. I know I'm getting a lot of backlash for the way that I'm handling it, but the amount of people thanking me in my messages has made it all worth it. There's so many women out there that are wanting to share their stories, and they're scared because they haven't told their families or their partner hasn't fully come out. I've already had multiple women ask me to share their stories anonymously, so I might start doing that on here as well. I don't even think that it's been a week. I'm still grieving and I'm still processing everything. I am going to be starting a support group of a bunch of women who have been going through it and want to be able to chat and talk to each other and heal together. And if you want to be part of that, just let me know. And if you do want me to share your story anonymously, just message me, but put share in caps or something so that I could separate your messages from the other ones that I'm receiving. I just want to use this platform to help others and, of course, document my own growth over time. And thank you, everyone who has been supportive. It has actually really, really helped me.
Get ready with me while I tell you the signs to know if your man is DL or gay. The first red flag is if your man is more into booty than your cooter. That's a red flag. Girl! Second red flag is if you go through his phone and you see on his Instagram that he likes more boy pictures than girl pictures. Girl, that's a red flag. Our ex or whatever that boy uses, you better go do a deep dive on that phone. Okay, girl? Period. If that man's always hanging out with his homeboys and he leaves you for his homeboys, then there's an issue because he shouldn't be leaving you for nobody. That man make you pay the bill, he gay. Man constantly feels the need to call something gay or feels really uncomfortable around gay people, baby, that's because his booty is gay. And if your man got this shit in his phone, he got any of these apps in his phone, girl, you better run. The gays and the DLs got sneaky now, okay? Let me tell y'all girls, now they can hide the app. So if you see any of these icons on his phone, baby, that is a dating app, okay? So y'all better run for the hills. I hope I caught up some DL men. Dante Onika the burger ate up another one.
So, good evening. I wanted to do a video today about the top 10 ways that you can discover or, kind of pinpoint if you're dealing with someone who's possibly living a DL lifestyle or not. I want to apologize that my t-shirt is inside out. Long story. Anyway. I wrote a blog about this maybe a few months ago, and I had, by popular demand, I had a lot of women reach out to me and ask me to, you put this on other social media platforms so that it reaches a broader range of women, because obviously there are still a lot of women that are being impacted by, men who are living double lives, unfortunately. And then, the more I dived into it and did my own investigation, I figured out that it is still an alarming number of women that are being unalived by their partners, because these women are later finding out, when it's too late, that these men are living double lives, and the men don't want these women to out and expose them. So what do? They unalive them. And it's just, it's still unfortunately a really alarming situation to be in. So without further ado, let me get into the top 10 ways that you can avoid this. And I'm going to tell you right now, I speak from experience. So trigger warning, I speak from a place of experience. I don't speak from a place of my personal opinion. Everything that I'm about to tell you, I have personally dealt with DL men and, who identify with these traits. So I do hope that this helps, and let's get into it. Now, number one, this is something that's very hard to convince women. I don't know why. It's very hard to convince women that if a man exhibits any homophobic tendencies, if unprovokingly, he's watching a TV show or he's on social media and he sees something that's, anything that's in the LGBT community, transgender, homosexual, anything, and it gets him angry, and it just seems like he's quick to throw them on the bus, call them all kind of homophobic slurs and stuff like that. I can guarantee you there's a 90% chance that this person is on a down low, and that they're deflecting by throwing these LGBT people under the bus. The best way to deflect from the demons that he have going on is by throwing other people under the bus who identify as part of that lifestyle and who are living in their truth. So anytime you're dealing with a person who's very homophobic, you might want to be very careful, because that's a telltale sign that he's hiding something from you. So that's number one. Number two.
So Ray, I know you heard about the Alicia Lofton case. Her husband unalived her because she found out that he was on the DL 6 months after they were married.
You know what? I heard what that coward ass dude did. I saw it. And here's the thing. A bunch of females are going through this right now. And they're scared to let that dude go. Because I guess they feel like, well, I got a kid with him and this and that. But you see what happened to this young lady. She found out what this dude did, what he was doing. Went to the restroom, tried to get away from him. He unalived her. A coward ass act. Y'all gotta wake up from that. And I know some people right now going through that same stuff. Find out the stuff is in the dude phone. You found it and you're still trying to be with this dude. Dude don't care nothing about your ass. I'm telling you right now. Using you, misusing you, and probably abusing you. Get your damn mind together. Stop putting up with dumb stuff. And I'm telling this to a lot of people that's going through that right now. You ain't got to put up with that mess. Somebody real will find your ass. Believe me.
Okay, get ready with me while I tell you how to know if your boyfriend is DL, because a lot of y'all's boyfriends are DL. Okay, one is if he really prefers to hang out with his homeboys than to hang out with you. Like, it seems like his homeboys are always a priority and you're always number two. And I'm not saying that like it's like that sometimes. No, like when it's always like that. Like, he always has to bring a homeboy somewhere. Number two is if they're around gay guys and like they feel uncomfortable and they tell you like, oh my god, like I just felt so uncomfortable, like I couldn't even be around him, like I was irritated. Like, no, you were irritated because you liked it because you're gay. He's always talking shit about women, and I'm not saying like making a little comment here and there, no, when he's always saying something about like the way women dress, how they act, yada yada yada. Like, he's mad because some women are living his dream. They're with men and he wants to be with a man. So yeah, that's another telltale sign. Another one that kind of goes in with the thing I just said. I feel very passionate about women's bodies or what women should do with their body or women's topics. That's a sign of homosexuality, because you shouldn't feel passionate about that because you're not a woman. So where's the passion coming? Huh? A sign is if he makes you go half on the first date or he asks you to pay. He's gay, he likes men, he wants to be with his homeboy. So yeah,
his phone goes off, and his phone goes off from a text message at 1 a.m. But out of respect, I asked him, or I told him, your phone's going off at 1 a.m, you should probably answer that. And he said, babe, I have nothing to hide, here's my passcode. Then I go in his phone with that password and I'm looking in the text messages. I scroll all the way up and I scroll up and I see a selfie. And I'm like, it's a black dude taking a selfie and send it to him. I went through all of his photos, all of his videos, all of his text messages, all of his DMs, all of his apps. Deleted apps. I went through his block list on Instagram, his block list on Snapchat. His block list was all gay men. I went through his email, his video. He had some very suspect videos. He had a couple of pics in there that weren't his. It was too much. I'm sitting there and I get in bed and I'm just staring at him the whole time in such disgust, like, you piece of shit. Later on that day, he finds himself trying to break up with me. He literally starts texting me and he's like, hey, so, you know, last night, that fight that we had, I just realized, like, you're not the girl for me. We gotta talk. No, like, we have to talk right now. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, I was gonna ease into this because I'm still processing it myself, but I found some weird in your phone and I need you to answer what it is. And I'm sending him everything that I saw. And then he calls me immediately and starts crying. Do you feel like you might be gay? Like, were you trying? No, I'm not gay. I've never done anything with a man. Just kept denying. Long story short, Fast forward, we just ended up like breaking up. I was like, you just gotta come out. I'm not doing this. You embarrassed me. Like, I'm done.
I know a lot of people have been like messaging me, asking me what's going on, why I'm moving out. And it's because like I just found out that my husband and like the man that I've been with like since high school for like 12 years, like we have 2 kids together, and he just like let me know that like he's gay and that he's been gay and like he's been trying to fake it, but he just can't anymore. I'm feeling so many things. I'm confused, I'm angry, I'm sad, but I'm also happy that like I'm happy that he could like finally live his life and that he doesn't have to like hide himself anymore. But I don't know, I'm just feeling so many things. Anyways, I just want to thank everyone for their kind messages and words of like affirmation, just because it has really helped me get through. Because like I've been with him since I was in high school, and so it's just like a lot, especially with 2 kids and like having to move out your whole life, like a whole life that you thought that you were gonna have, that it's gone now. And it's also hard because it's like no one really understands, because no one has been through this situation. Like no one that I know has been through this situation, and so it's just really hard. I just love him, and he keeps telling me how much he loves me and our kids, and like he never wanted to have to like leave, but that he just can't like pretend anymore. And I just want to be like supportive and just let him know that he has me like still on his side, and that I love him still. But it's just hard at the same time, because like I spent the last 12 years with him building this life. It's like just crazy that like your whole life can just change in like a day. The nights are like just so lonely, and I have like the 2 kids to take care of. And it's like I just miss him, and I miss our family so much.
What's up, it's your girl in LaCash, the Atlanta Hood Tour Guide, aka the original board tapper, BKA your favorite Atlanta Hood Tour Guide. And today, baby, I'm not gonna lie, this one right here is probably gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, but I don't care. Y'all been asking me to do this one for a minute, so let's go ahead and get into it. 5 ways to tell a man is on a down low. Let's get into it. Pay attention. Number 1, baby, if they got that Grindr app on their phone, 9 times out of 10, baby, he on the DL, he in the closet, he hiding up under the bed, he hiding from reality of who he really want to be. Check that phone. Number 2, baby, a lot of y'all in denial, but if your man always want to do anal when you got a hoe, but JJ, baby, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, baby, he just worked himself up because he really want to go to them other people back, though. Number 3, baby, if they spend too much time in the mirror, 9 times out of 10, baby, he on the DL. Because, I mean, what man really just sit up in the mirror more than 10 minutes? 20, 30 minutes? It's a problem. You might want to check on him. Number 4, this one is important. If he is uncomfortable around gay men, 9 times out of 10, he probably like the men that he uncomfortable around, because any real man that's comfortable with who they are and their sexuality do not get bothered by gay men. Ooh, honey, this one finna hit home for a lot of people. If he always with that one particular homeboy that you're a little sketchy about, and me, when I say always, I'm talking about like all the damn time. Like they wake up, text each other on the phone, go to sleep, da-da-da-da. Baby, 9 times out of 10, that ain't his homeboy, that his boyfriend. I definitely want to say disclaimer, I do not have a problem with anybody in the LGBT community. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to put y'all up on game of the ones who be dibbling and dabbling. Okay, so it's your Atlanta Hood Tour Guide. If I put it down, what you gonna do? Pick it up.
One of the number 1 biggest indications you may be dealing with a down low narcissist, think about how fast they talked about marriage. This is a narcissist's way to cover up who they really are. This is a person who likes to play dress up behind closed doors. This is a person who hides behind a mask. They're actors. And the best way to cover themselves for what they really enjoy sexually is to get a wife. or to marry someone. You fit the image that protects their deepest, darkest secrets. And if you know, you know. Narcissistic people move around like stray cats. And that's the down low narcissist. Before you came in, they've been encountering stray situationships. This thing will sleep with anything. A man, a woman, a trans, maybe even an animal. Narcissists carry a deep-rooted spiritual problem with perversion. And from a young child, somebody violated and perverted that narcissist. And now, instead of dealing with that problem, because there's so much shame that comes with it, they have to hide it. There's no better way to hide it than to marry people who can cover and protect it.
Am I the first guy you ever been with? I was kind of scared to act on it. Y'all see this shit? Especially our first kiss. You'll get one later when we get to the gym. Oh, hell no. He got some explaining to do. Hello? Excuse me? Hey, get up. Get up. I just looked through your phone and I saw some messages and I need an answer. Get up. I just looked through your phone and I saw some messages. Who the is Chantel?
What?
Who is Chantel? You said, what's up, boo? And she talking about that you just only hitting her up because something about a baby mama? So I'm just your baby mama now?
I ain't never seen nothing like that. What are you talking about?
Bruh, I saw the messages. Who is Chantel?
She ain't nobody.
That's the best that you got?
I mean, she ain't nobody.
Okay, whatever. I don't believe you. You're a liar. I'm sick of you lying and cheating and manipulating me.
Nobody's cheating.
Okay.
I'm not cheating.
Okay, sweetie. All right. All of that. Who?
It's not even nothing that say I'm cheating.
Okay, I don't care. The fact is you still entertaining when you said that you was going to stop. I don't care about none of that. Who the hell is Derek?
Derek, that's my dog.
That's your dog? You sure?
Yes.
So why y'all got messages talking about the first kiss? So you know?
What are you talking about?
So you finna act stupid. Read the messages.
Have you guys ever witnessed a man who argues with a woman, tears her down, and says little catty petty things to her, similarly to how maybe women would, catfight back and forth? Or who trolls her social media saying you don't look good, or you're fat, or you're this and you're that? Tries to demean her accomplishments, always has this really just horrible attitude towards her if anything ever good ever happens in her life. Tries to punk her or get in her face or do things to humiliate her. Literally talks trash about her behind her back, okay? Especially to other women, right? They will triangulate and try to find another woman to trash this woman that is in their life right now. Know this, there is a good chance that that man is playing both sides of the fence. Because truly masculine men do not behave this way, okay? If they're having an issue with a woman, they'll walk away from the conversation. They'll leave the house. They'll say, let's take this up later. But they certainly won't resort to bashing her or saying things about her physical appearance or going to another woman behind their back, gossiping about her, trying to triangulate to create this these flying monkey situations. A lot of men who do that are secretly attracted to men. I said what I said. And they despise you because they actually don't like you, but they're embarrassed about the fact that they are actually attracted to other men. There's also some narcissism floating in there, some unhealthy metrosexual behavior floating in there. So if you ever see a man online or in your life that is talking really poorly, about another woman, okay? Now, they can talk crap all day long about other men, and women, they gossip and they do things like that as it pertains to other women. But if you see a man doing that to another woman. I've seen a lot of videos floating around the internet where, you know, men will think it's funny to like embarrass their new bride on their wedding day, or like push them in the water, or like shove a pie and ruin their dress or something like that, right? Something really horrible. You need to watch out for men like that, because they have this secret need to hurt you, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And when you get close to them and they have access to you, your money, your time, you're depending on them, you're living under the same roof, okay, you have homes and your names together and things like that, they're going to be using these things to weaponize against you, okay, because they don't really like you. So be very, very careful when you see a person that does something harmful and then they laugh about it. Like, can't you take a joke? It's like, no, I cannot take a joke.
And if I were dating any man, he would have to prove to me he's not on the down low. I have to see him in a lot of different situations. I'm going to need for friends to tell me things about him, who he was before he met me, all kind of things. I'm going to be doing some deep research before I get sexually involved with a man. And ladies, you have to too. You have to too. And don't jump at a man just because he says he wants to get married. These down low men, most of them are married. Because they don't want the world to know that they're sleeping with each other, so they need wives to cover that up.
When you get married to a woman, even though you know that you're gay, you're like destined to do some pretty stupid and harmful things, not only to her, but to you and to all the people involved. Let me tell you about one of those things. I got married, and I had been talking to a guy for about 6 months before I got married. Completely didn't think that it was like gonna amount to anything, wasn't trying for it to, but accidentally fell in love with him because I had never dated a man before, because why would I? I was raised super conservative and like would have never allowed myself to do that. But it was in my last semester of college and I felt like times were getting pretty bleak and I was about to get married. So why not talk to this random stranger who I met on chat roulette, right? What could go wrong? Anyway, fast forward 6 months, I get married to my wife. She, you know, we're happy. I'm not happy, but, you know, we're pretending to be happy. She's happy, I think. And 3 weeks go by. 3 weeks. And I'm taking a biochemistry course while I'm working on applying to medical school. And while I'm in that class, I get 11 phone calls from her. 11 missed calls. So I think to myself, that's not good. And I immediately knew it was wrong. She didn't say anything. She didn't leave any voicemails. She didn't text me, nothing. She just 11 missed phone calls. And she had my location, so she knew where I was. And I knew what she wanted because I was like, she somehow found out I was still talking to this guy that I met on chat roulette, which I was. I was absolutely still talking to him. Oh, and by the way, I definitely wasn't telling him that I got married. Lots of mistakes, lots of dishonesty. And I'm prepared, so give me all the judgment. I know everybody's going to fill the comments and tell me how horrible that was. But that's why I'm talking about this. Because I don't think it's right, and I don't think it was good. And I'm trying to help people who might think that they can do the same thing, realize that they can't. So she calls me 11 times. I leave class that day, and I'm going to call her back. I walk outside the building, and she is right there. Without shoes on, looking like she just saw a ghost or just watched her parents be murdered in front of her. She is horrified, and rightly so. So I knew exactly what the problem was. She obviously found out somehow, and she sat me down, and we wound up having a 3-hour conversation about how she saw my open computer where I was Skyping this guy, and she saw our chat history and everything. 3 weeks into our marriage. That's how she found out I was gay, which is very embarrassing, but that's how she found out. Horrible. So let's talk about it.
So he was actually incredibly homophobic. So if we were out and about, he would mutter under his breath whenever he saw anybody that appeared to be gay. He did everything he could to make himself as macho and outwardly masculine as he could. So he was a bodybuilder. He wouldn't wear anything that was a feminine colour like pink or purple. He would belittle our children when we later went on to have children. And in fact, I found this out about him when my child was about 4 months old. But as they grew up, he would belittle the males by saying, you know, even when they were crying at like 3 or 4 years old, he'd be like, stop crying like a little girl and stuff like that. So actually, he rejected his homosexuality or bisexuality or whatever you want to call it. He couldn't accept it at all. He kept it a massive secret, obviously, from everybody, including me. And then after I did find out about it, he kind of implied that by me finding out what he'd been doing, that had healed him and he no longer had those desires, which obviously isn't possible. In this process of finding out what he had done, which I happened across by accident on the computer when autofill filled in an old email address that he had stopped using before we had got married and before we got this certain computer, so I knew something wasn't right, that he would still been using this old email address. And I basically bluffed him into telling me the truth. I said that I'd found loads of stuff on the computer. I rang him at work and I was like, you better tell me everything now, otherwise it's over. So the issue was, he did tell me a lot of the truth to begin with, but it came out in dribs and drabs. So it meant that at the point where I was like, oh, you know, maybe I can trust him again. Maybe I can make this work. I was 18. I had a 4-month-old baby. He'd already isolated me from all my friends and family. So I didn't have any sense of what is normal and what is true. I also had no identity myself because of all my own issues from childhood and teenage years. He had become my world, and therefore it was very scary to me at the thought of giving that up. So in finding this all out, it's where my eyes were open to how massive this issue is. You know, men that are married with children, grandfathers having these secret homosexual lives. It is everywhere. And some of my gay clients openly talk about how much they end up finding out that the people that they get with on these dating apps are actually married with kids and so-called straight.
Why some of these men are on the down low. They never had love from their father, which is a man. You know, some of these boys, when they grow up, they don't have no father figure. So they start hanging around a bunch of guys every day. They looking for their love every day. So when they get grown, all they know is to hang around a bunch of men. They all do the same thing. They like the same thing. And they start bonding with these men and they start having feelings for these guys. That's why when something happened to his partner, he cries, he's sad, he's stressed out, he's depressed because he bonded with that man. They done shared everything together. So they don't even look for a woman's love anymore because all they've been wanting is a man's love in their life. So you wonder why your man hang around these men and not you? Because he bond with them. He connect with them, man. He respect them more than you. And sometimes they start dating them guys. They start sneaking around with them, man. And guess what? All the guys that never had a father, they all get along very well. Just think about it. So you wonder why he on the down low? Come on now. It ain't about you. It's about a man's love he never had.
The amount of DL men that are walking around here in these streets, ladies, would absolutely astound you. And I'm needing you to use your discernment because trust me when I say they are all over the place. Men that have been married for like 28 years, got like 5 kids. I'm telling you, the more like uber masculine, machismo that they be acting, I'm telling you, they be sliding in my side of the street in my DMs. I know this for a fact. Here's the thing. As a black man, I know how hard it is to have to come out as gay or bisexual. And sidebar, a whole lot of these dudes calling themselves bisexual are actually gay, but that's a different topic for another time. I know how hard that is. That does not give a man an excuse to walk and live in deception in such a way that puts his wife or the women that he's seeing in potential danger. How did they reconcile that in their spirit? How is that right to them in their spirit? Because that's exactly what they're doing. That is unacceptable and you deserve better.
A lot of gay men are dating girls So gay guys, please look out for your girlies. I see these dudes on Grindr every single day, and they are cheating on these girls left and right. This is a crisis, and it must be stopped. A lot of gay men are dating girls. So gay guys, please look out for your girls.
This man said that men often choose to be on the down low because they aren't given a safe space. When are we gonna keep it a buck? No one, no matter what gender, race, or class, is given a safe space.
It ain't safe for the black or the white girl.
It's not safe. You telling me because a woman doesn't make you feel safe because of your sexual preferences, you go behind that woman's back and sleep with men? You feel safe enough to sleep with another man, communicate with another man, even be in a relationship with another man, but because your woman might not like it, you don't feel safe enough to say it out loud. There's a misconception that lesbians are safe. The only time being a lesbian is safe is when men get to watch or benefit. Once a woman shares that she wasn't gay for the benefit of a man, she's all types of names. Bull, babe, carpet, young M.A. Or she just hasn't had the right D in her life. Men could also create and maintain safe spaces for other men to explore their sexuality. Because as a woman, how can I create a safe space for you if I didn't even know what was going on?
Some narcissistic men are on the DL. They're on the down low. They cannot live the lifestyle that they want to live, so they're going to project a different type of lifestyle to those that are looking at them, that are looking from the outside in. On the inside, they're horrible to deal with. They are mean and nasty to their spouses, and that's because they're projecting their hatred for themselves onto everyone else in the family, including the children. They outwardly project their hate onto those that live that lifestyle openly. They act afraid and scared of those that live that lifestyle openly. And they are very critical of those that live that lifestyle openly. And really, all they want is to live that lifestyle openly, but they can't, because they see it as a flaw. If you think that this is the case with your spouse, with someone that you know, it could be that they are secretly on the down low. And a lot of narcissistic men will change lanes for supply. It does not matter. They just need to be filled up with whatever they can latch onto that makes them excited. So a lot of them are on the DL.